when you are finished with your watercolor painting section, then you're going to begin with your ink part. Mixed media means we're using more than one medium. And everything that is inside of your box is going to be outlined. Any pencil lines, you're going to put ink over it. You can also outline your rectangle where it needs to be outlined. And then you will also then do your object. And outline all the parts of that object. You're also going to be adding your details with it. And you may even need to come in and then add actual hatching or cross hatching or stippling while you're working with your pen. Now everything in your background is ink. And this is where we're going to put to use our knowledge of our shading techniques. And you have the option to use hatching, which are all of your fine lines that usually need to go with the object. So if your object's got rounded edges, with most of what you have, everything's organic, it's natural from our environment, you're going to want to kind of do that curve on the edge thing that we've done before, and then that's going to create that illusion that you have depth, because we have to have depth with this and get our value and our contrast. Your cross hatching is taking and using those lines. Remember, you could do 3, 2, depends on what you want and how you want that. They can be side by side. Of course, cross hatching is really good if you want to make things that are darker, because it's a really dark value. The closer together you place your lines, the darker it's going to appear. The further apart you place your lines, the lighter your value is going to appear. And then stippling is your last option that you may want to use. And I would suggest considering not using the same technique for everything. And then the stippling works the same way. Now you're going to need to have your pen straight up and down so you get your dots. You're not going to want to slam it up and down. You're going to want to take your time, and you may need to take a break from it. And the closer together you place those dots, then the darker that's going to be as well. And then the further apart you place them, the lighter it's going to be. Now, you have to make some decisions on your objects and where things go. So you can see that I have taken hatching here, and I did a little curve to create the curve of the stem of that flower, and then hatching up there. I did a little cross hatching in here that may not be easy to see, and I did that because that was behind it and it was a darker value. Same thing here. I may want to do cross hatching there, or I may want to continue with the stippling that I have here. And again, wherever you have your dots closer together, it's going to create a darker value. So because this section is over, and again, this is drawing what you see, not what you know. So just like you were supposed to be painting what you see, not what you know, then you're doing the same thing with your pen. And it's very important that you're using your image, because that image has those values on it. It has those lights and darks on it. And then you'll be able to do your shading correctly with where you're placing things. So you can see that it's darker right in that edge there, and it's a little darker right up through there. And then that's what you're doing, or what I did on that one. Here's this one when I open it up. And so I'm making that much lighter, so I'm spreading out, as you can see here, I'm spreading out the dots to create that lighter value. And then where it's darker, I'm going to add more dots, put them closer together. So this is a process. Again, it's not a race. It is a race. We don't want it to be a sprint, something that we finish real quick. And we want to be able to create the illusion that we have form and depth. So again, you're going to be outlining your box, your rectangle, and every pencil line that you have. And then you're going to come in, and once you get that done, you may have to come in, as on this particular one, and bring that technique up into your watercolor paint. It depends. And then over here, you're going to want to come in, and you may want to add some textures there to make that work, or it just depends. Those are the decisions that you have to make.